So what is going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Wonderlands video. In today's video, it's our final of the 6 class builds. It's the Clawbringer class. Now, I'm really excited about this build because this was probably the biggest challenge that I've had, because Clawbringer was very difficult to build. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise, let's get straight into this video. So let's talk about the skill tree, and I chose to pair it up with the Graveborn. The only other tree that came close to this damage was the Stabbermancer. It just really was a struggle to get Clawbringer all the way up to Chaos level 20, but here's how we did it. So we're paired up with the Graveborn skill tree, and we're going to actually capstone the Clawbringer. We're going to be using the Storm's Dragon Judgment. We're going full lightning spec, and we are going hard into that. So the first thing that we're going to do is take over Thunder, which will give us bonus 25% lightning damage. Then we're going to take Rebuck, which will give the Fate Maker increased damage reduction, and all damage dealt to allies is reflected to the attacker as lightning damage. We're also going to put 5 points in Dragon Aura, so that the Fate Maker is surrounded by an aura that grants himself and allies increased elemental damage. We're then going to take this skill here, which will give us a kill skill based on melee and good, doing either fire or lightning respectively. Then we have Friend of the Flame, which will give us 100% Wyvern damage, which is critical for this build. Storm's Breath, which will also give us some more breath damage, damage reduction, and all those nice things there. A point in Indomitable, which is instead of the Fate Maker going into fight for your life or save your soul, he will refill his ward and deal bonus lightning damage. This goes off more often than you think, actually. Then Ore, which will give us more critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and duration after dealing lightning damage, which we will do all the time. And finally, when we will do the capstone here, which is whenever the Fate Maker activates his action skill, he calls down elemental bolts to deal fire or lightning to nearby enemies. It's really, really good. Then onto the Graveborn, we'll put 2 points into Mortal Vessel here to get down the tree, because we're going to have 3 points in Faithful Thralls, 3 points in Harvest for extra bonus Dark Magic, 5 points into Dark Pact here to give Dark Magic damage, then 3 points into Dark Hydra. We've spoken about this extensively, but this is critical. Class mods or armor pieces with as many points into this is absolutely critical. Finally, we're going to put a point into Ascension as a kill skill to give us some more spell damage and maximum health. In terms of the hero stats, we're going to be using Village Idiot. We're going into Strength, Dex, and then I would recommend either skill cooldown or spell cooldown. We either want our buff Meister or our action skills as fast as possible, so whatever you see fit here will work absolutely fine. Then, because we are leaning into lightning so much, we are going to use a lightning Teedior here. Now, I've got bonus while action skill is active, increased companion damage. You're also going to want an anointment for bonus lightning damage as well. I actually didn't have one in the footage here, and if you did have one, you would be even more powerful than you saw in the footage. Then any melee that you want, really, I would recommend you getting the Goblin Pickaxe though, to give you some cooldown rate on there as well. Again, this anointment isn't even right, so you definitely have some more damage potential. I do have a spare Teedior here that I am going to re-roll as well, just to have some ammo distribution in case I run out of ammunition. Then on our rings, we're going to have companion damage here. And, you know, you can choose whatever ring you want here, but usually the abilities that buff your damage while in the dungeons or things like that, or while your health is full, those are the ways to go. The shield I have here is, again, while action skill active, increased companion damage. So this build is completely not rolled at all perfectly for enchantments. This shield, however, will give you increased companion damage, which is really nice. Then I'm using this legendary item here, which will give me Hydras, but you'll notice in the footage I wasn't using Hydras. This does also affect the Pixies. It will keep the Pixies up into the air, meaning that they will fire down like turrets on people and absolutely destroy them. Again, this could be rolled better as well, so that's more damage potential for you. Then onto the amulet here, we have Lightning and Clawbringer, which is really nice. Status effect chance and gun magazine size. Gun magazine size is not that great. The actual amulet itself, the ability, I not really a fan of. I want the ability where if your companions get kills, they will start to stack damage. Again, you'll see a running theme here. We cleared Chaos 20 and there is still a ton of damage potential in this build. Finally, the buff Meister. This is essential here, unfortunately, for this build. You can get away with killing people on Chaos 20, but it is really slow. So the buff Meister here, this one actually has 2 charges and is in chaotic. Again, make sure you mix and matching your enchantments nicely to increase either gun damage, ability damage, elemental damage, all those kind of things, and that kind of round off all the items. The gameplay loop is really simple. Juice yourself up with your buff Meister, then throw your hammer and leave the hammer out and deal as much damage as possible. You can pull your hammer back to do damage on the way back, but I recommend just leaving it out there so you can take advantage of action skill active anointments. Throw a few TDR at the start of the round as well, get those pixies going. Once you have all your companions up, and you will have a ton of damage. And as I've said in previous videos, the pixies do tons of damage and they are like firing a machine gun of turrets when you have them all focusing on one target. Guys, that's it for today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise I'll catch you on the flip.